Welcome to Audit the Audit, where we sort out the who and what and the right and wrong of police interactions. This episode covers passenger identifications, obstructing, and vandalism, and is brought to us by LRHN Cash's channel and Cleveland Area Body Cameras channel. Be sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve. This will be another double feature episode, so be sure to stick around for our coverage of both of today's interactions. Did you know that smell is one of the most powerful senses that we have? And how you smell can have a lasting impact on the people that you want to leave an impression on. Today's sponsor, Scentbird, understands the power of smelling good and is on a mission to provide designer-grade fragrances at a fraction of the price. I tend to prefer scents that evoke a sense of freshness and calm, and I love the Deauville France pour Homme fragrance from Michel Germain that I received this month from Scentbird. It has a masculine smell with tones of lush coastal woods and deep, smoky incense, enveloped in notes of Roman chamomile, French water, and crushed geranium petals. It is a great casual smell that is perfect for wearing around the house or going out for a night on the town. I also received Ormond de Man by Ormond Jane, which is a sophisticated fragrance with soft, woody notes, but it is infused with oud oil, one of the most sought-after fragrance oils in the world. If you've ever been interested in diving into the world of fragrance and finding a smell that boosts your confidence and suits your taste, then Scentbird is the perfect place to start. Scentbird is a unique subscription service that offers a vast range of fragrances, including popular brands like Prada and Versace, as well as niche labels such as Parfums de Marly and Roja. Scentbird allows you to select from a massive inventory of fragrances from the comfort of your home and have them delivered directly to your door. Scentbird also allows you to change your fragrance every month, avoiding the commitment and cost of pricey, full-size bottles that can range anywhere from $300 to $500. Right now, Scentbird is offering members of the ATA community a 55% discount when you use code AUDIT at checkout, or by scanning this QR code or clicking on the link below. That means that you can start your fragrance journey for as little as $8 for your first month, and the next month for only $16.95. Thanks again to Scentbird for sponsoring today's episode. On July 8th, 2024, officers with the Scioto County Police initiated a traffic stop on driver Chelsea Workman and passenger Quantez Bradley on Highway US 52 in Ohio. The interaction that followed was captured on the officers' body cameras and dash cams.
Hello, reason for the stop. You stopped way across that stop bar back here.
I mean, I see the car coming, that's why.
Well, you were rolling to a stop, then stopped after the stop bar. That's why I stopped you. All right, you got your license on you? Just you two in the vehicle? I can't see it, it's so tinted. Appreciate that. You got ID, sir? I understand that, but you still have the right ID. It's Supreme Court back that, yes sir. Anybody in the vehicle? I can have you step out too. Pennsylvania versus Mims case law, sir. Do you have your ID on you, sir? Can I please have it? You're in the vehicle. Okay. You were really gonna play this game? Supreme Court backs it. I can ID you. Supreme Court backs it, my man.
It's a traffic
okay.
infraction.
Go ahead, step out. Step out.
Listen what I'm saying.
Step out, sir, please.
You have no right to. I'm asking to see your sergeant.
You can step out of the vehicle.
I'm asking to see your
Pennsylvania
sergeant.
versus Mims, which is case law.
I'm asking
you have
to
to
see
step
your
out of the vehicle.
sergeant.
Step out of the vehicle.
I'm asking to see your
Step out of the vehicle. Step
I'm
out of the
asking to see
vehicle.
your sergeant.
Step out of the vehicle.
I'm asking to see your sergeant.
Now you're getting detained.
Man, get this shit. No, this is wrong, bro.
You
I'm
have
asking to
step
see
out.
your sergeant.
You have to step out of
My
the vehicle.
hands are on the thing. I'm asking
You
to
have to
see
step out of the
your
vehicle.
superior. You pulled us over for a
72.8.
traffic infraction.
That is perfectly fine.
No,
I've got
we
one
didn't do
in the
anything.
vehicle.
We didn't do anything.
Step out.
Listen,
Can I get your
It's case
no,
law.
we're gonna do this right
Sir,
now like that.
sir,
Watch
it's
this.
case law. Step out.
Listen,
Pennsylvania versus Mims says you
I'm
have to step out
asking
of
to
my
see a
vehicle.
superior. I'm not a threat. My hands
I
are up
never
on the
said you were
steering
a
wheel.
threat, sir.
Okay,
You
so
can
the fact
step
that you're
out.
treating me like that,
I'm
my
gonna have
car
you
door is
step out.
open.
I'm gonna have you step out, sir, and then
My
I'm gonna
car
have
door. No,
I'm gonna have
what
her
are we
step
stopping
out.
out for? What are we stopping out for a traffic infraction?
giving you
I'm
plenty
not
of
a
room.
threat.
Sir.
I don't want my door
No,
open,
no,
sir.
no.
No, I'm allowed to.
No.
I have my door shut. You know
Pennsylvania
that.
versus Mims.
You know this.
You have to step out of the
Man,
vehicle. It's
call my phone,
case
call my
law,
lawyer
sir.
right now.
Don't be
on the phone. No.
It's case
You guys
law.
are back. You guys are threatening my law. I'm
No,
actually.
it's not.
We're not going anywhere.
Please step out. Otherwise, you're going to force yourself to jail, man. I don't want to do that.
All right, man. But what am I stepping out for?
You have to step out. It's Pennsylvania versus.
You keep saying that. Show me that law.
It is case law.
Show me that
you
law.
Can look it up.
No, you look it up.
You can look it up.
You look it up and
You can look it up. You're going to be stepping out.
Got the wrong
I'm about to place you under arrest, man.
No,
for
listen,
obstructing.
you can't.
Yes, I can.
Look at
you didn't have your seatbelt on at first. Yes.
I didn't have
put
my
it on.
seatbelt on.
You put it on as I was walking
I
up.
had my seatbelt on.
You put it on as I was walking up. I don't know.
Show me video proof I didn't. And get away from my door. I got rights, and you know you ain't allowed to do nothing to me.
Yeah, first of all,
You hold me hostage. Get off my door,
You're
sir.
about to be under arrest.
You know why? Because they can't do this. That's
I know
why.
they can't, so we're not
Back
getting
off
out
of my
this.
door.
Listen,
Calm
we're
down.
not
Call
getting
your
out this
sergeant.
until
Only time I'm
the
gonna tell
sergeant
you.
Get the fuck away from us, sir.
Don't do that.
Bro.
Don't get aggressive for it.
I'm not. Can
Don't
you
get
back away?
aggressive.
I'm asking you nicely. Can you back away from my door? Back away from my door. Drive off from them, bro. I'm telling you.
If you drive off,
You're in threat.
if you drive off, you're going to be in really big trouble, man.
Why are you still here bothering me and haven't went and did what
Because you
you
were being the way you are. If you would have done stepped out by now, and then I would have had her step out, I would have talked to you guys off this busy highway up to the side where it's safe for everybody.
Okay.
I would have sent you guys on your
We're
way.
safe. We're
You
in
were
a vehicle.
delaying this whole thing.
How am I not safe? I got my seatbelt on.
have you guys step out for my safety and everybody else's
you
safety. Yes, I can.
can't. Your
It's
safe-
case law.
What are you
Look it up.
talking about?
Instead
I
of
don't care
recording,
about
look
that,
it up.
bro.
Because I'm
You
recording
know
right
you're
now.
wrong.
Look it up.
You know you're
Look it up. Look the case law up.
We're here.
In an extended debate, the officer claims that the Supreme Court has determined that during a traffic stop, officers have the authority to demand identification from everyone in the vehicle, including passengers, and to order anyone to step out of the vehicle. As we have often discussed in previous episodes of ATA, the Supreme Court held in the 1997 case of Maryland versus Wilson that police officers may order drivers and passengers to exit a lawfully stopped vehicle as a matter of course, even if they have no reason to suspect the passenger of violating the law or being a safety risk. However, the rule regarding when officers can order a passenger to identify themselves is far less permissive. In the 2004 case of Heibel versus 6th Judicial District Court of Nevada, the Supreme Court held that stop and identify laws that require individuals to identify themselves in the course of a valid Terry stop do not violate the Fourth Amendment. While the court noted that, quote, in the ordinary course, a police officer is free to ask a person for identification without implicating the Fourth Amendment, the decision also identified a long-standing constitutional limitation on the scope and operation of stop and identify statutes, that an officer may not order an individual to identify themselves without, now quoting, specific objective facts establishing reasonable suspicion to believe the suspect was involved in criminal activity. Accordingly, Ohio's stop and identify statute, which is codified in section 2921.29 of the Ohio Revised Code, makes it an offense for an individual to refuse to disclose their name, address, or date of birth when requested by a law enforcement officer who reasonably suspects that they are committing, have committed, or are about to commit a criminal offense. Likewise, the Second District Court of Appeals of Ohio concluded in the 2004 case of State versus Brown, which was decided after the Heibel case and cited in it, that, quote, unlike the driver of the vehicle, a passenger is neither legally obligated to carry identification nor required to produce it for the law enforcement officers. Because the questioning of the passenger is akin to a consensual encounter, the passenger need not respond to the law enforcement officer's request for identification. If, however, the officer has an independent basis for requesting the passenger's identification, such as a reasonable suspicion that the passenger himself has engaged in illegal conduct, the passenger may be required to identify himself, and he may be further detained as part of an investigation of that independent offense. In this instance, the officer claimed that Mr. Bradley was not wearing a seatbelt, which is a minor misdemeanor under section 4513.263 of the Ohio Revised Code. As such, it is possible that a court could conclude that the officer had the reasonable suspicion necessary to demand that Mr. Bradley identify himself based on a potential seatbelt violation. But it is highly improbable that a court would agree with the officer's claim that he had the authority to require Mr. Bradley's identification simply because he was a passenger in a lawfully stopped vehicle.
Look the case law up.
We're here listening to how you treating us and your actions. Usually,
I have
any
not
cop
been
that ever
disrespectful
pulled
to you.
somebody over, you were so thirsty, you didn't even walk back to the car and play it off or
Because
nothing.
you're
You came
acting the
straight
way
to
you
my side.
are right now.
I only did this when
You've been aggressive with me since
I only
the
did
beginning,
this when you
man.
forcefully forced my door open.
Because I asked you to step out.
Force my door open forcefully.
I'm being super nice because I could have put you in
I'm being
handcuffs
super
by now
nice
for
by not
obstructing.
allowing you to treat me the way you want.
We're on a traffic stop. All I want to do.
A traffic stop, so go do your traffic stop and get back to the car. Give us our tickets. So
Once I get a supervisor up here, I will finish it all.
All right, that's cool.
But
Until
right now,
then,
no.
Until then, we want our
it's gonna
door
stay-
shut.
it's gonna stay
You are
open.
not allowed to do this.
Because you're the way you're acting.
No,
man.
I'm not acting
shutting the
belligerent.
door.
I'm just feeling cornered
I'm not.
because you don't. Why are you not
I
shutting?
have not even stepped up on you.
You're not shutting our door on a traffic stop.
Sir, listen. I'm Officer Galloway, Portsmouth Police
I
Department.
don't care about that.
I'm going to let you know, if you don't willingly step out of this vehicle, we will remove you, and then you will be placed under
You
arrest.
can't
I'm waiting on your sergeant.
Yes,
You will
ma'am.
you will be placed under arrest for
ma'am.
You
obstructing
call
of
a
official
sergeant and
business.
lieutenant.
My
When they
lieutenant is
come,
on his
that's
way.
when we
My
will step
lieutenant.
out.
That's when we'll step out.
We are not.
That's
You don't
what
have a
happened.
problem with stepping out.
Okay, you will step out now, or you're going to go to jail for obstructing
I'm not
official
going to
business.
step out now because of you or not.
The officers tell Mr. Bradley that if he does not step out of the vehicle, he will be placed under arrest for obstructing. According to Section 2921.31 of the Ohio Revised Code, which defines the offense of obstructing official business, quote, "No person with purpose to prevent, obstruct, or delay the performance by a public official of any authorized act within the public official's official capacity shall do any act that hampers or impedes a public official in the performance of the public official's lawful duties." In the 2019 case of State versus Kegel, the Ohio 9th District Court of Appeals upheld a conviction for obstructing against an individual who repeatedly refused lawful orders to exit his vehicle, noting that while not every failure to comply with a law enforcement order rises to the level of obstruction, now quoting, "A suspect may indeed obstruct official business when he creates a significant delay by ignoring an officer's repeated orders, thereby impeding the officer's ability to perform his lawful duties. Therefore, a court would likely find that Mr. Bradley's repeated refusals to exit the vehicle over multiple minutes constituted obstruction."
Or not giving me my rights. I'm waiting on your
I've
lieutenant.
explained it to you.
Your lieutenant is coming.
You have a,
Did
you
you
have a right.
just say your lieutenant is coming?
Yeah.
Getting out of this
They ain't
car
calling nobody.
But for your safety and our safety, you will step out of the vehicle
We're
now.
waiting on your sergeant and your
For your
lieutenant.
safety and my safety, you will step out of the
Got it.
vehicle now.
I
I am
understand
not
that.
a threat. My seatbelt is on. My hands are on the steering
We're here,
wheel.
we're playing all these games,
I am
man.
not a threat.
This is another one of those
I am
social
not a
media
threat.
games, man.
I am not a threat.
Another one of the social media games.
I am not a threat.
And we haven't been a threat towards you. So, I mean, we've been completely
Social
respectful to
media,
you.
this for the courts and everybody.
We've been nice to you.
No,
We
you
have not
haven't.
raised our voice once
No,
to
you
you.
haven't. I'm only raising my voice not because I'm violent.
You raise your voice the whole time to me, and
because you're not listening
and
to
obviously
me.
you start recording way after the
No,
fact.
I start
and then you
recording when I
start.
realized you guys were not fair.
I've got 12 minutes of recording.
Okay,
here.
I realized you guys weren't fair, and then once you got 12 minutes recording,
All right.
you're gonna see
I've
when
been
you
doing
walked
this
up.
a while, man.
I had my
have
seatbelt
never-
on.
You are not.
All the time I've done this, I've never
Where
had
is
to
your
fight for being
lieutenant and
unfair.
sergeant?
He's got a little ways to come,
No,
man,
okay,
because
we're
he's
gonna
got to
wait
come
on
from
him.
the city.
We're gonna wait on him then.
But all right, I'm not going to argue
We're
with you
gonna wait
anymore.
on him.
Keep your hands where I can see him, and
Yeah.
we'll wait on him. Now you have the sheriff over here.
Nah, that's because y'all called the
No, you got sheriff, you got lieutenant, you got everybody showing up. And he ain't even our boss. He's going to come over here and lend a hand because you're acting like a fool for no reason, my man. No reason.
Right.
I've explained it to you. I've explained it to you more than once.
Right.
I've explained it to you more than once.
So far, you have obstructed our business for 12 minutes now.
Obstructing, more than likely you're probably getting resistant because of the way you're acting. So you're just, I mean, why, man? Why?
Because you guys are threatening me.
Why?
I feel threatened.
I don't know why you feel threatened. You've got her camera on you, you've got our cameras on you.
What?
And the only reason we haven't pulled you out of the vehicle yet is because we're trying to be nice to you, man.
Yes, they don't bother us, bro. They don't
We're
bother
trying to be nice.
I'm telling
Why
you.
is there so many? Why is there so
Because
many?
when it's...
Why is there
Hey! 228, they're taking off. Westbound 52.
Traffic here, but we'll get on dispatch.
After attempting to flee the officers for several minutes and driving into the nearby village of New Boston at speeds exceeding 80 miles an hour, Ms. Workman finally stopped her vehicle after officers were able to pop one of the tires. Officers arrested both Ms. Workman and Mr. Bradley and discovered that there was an open warrant for a parole violation for Mr. Bradley. Officers also recovered a firearm and ammunition from the passenger seat of the vehicle. About 2 weeks after the chase, the Scioto County Grand Jury handed down multiple felony indictments against both Mr. Bradley and Ms. Workman for felonious assault, failure to comply with an order of a police officer, obstructing official business, and inducing panic. As of the date of writing this episode, the charges are still pending. Overall, the Scioto County officers get a C, because while they were likely correct in their assertions that Mr. Bradley was required to step out of the vehicle and could be arrested for obstruction if he refused to do so, they also demonstrated a highly concerning lack of understanding regarding the requirement of reasonable suspicion in order to identify passengers in a vehicle. Although the officers may have had the reasonable suspicion necessary to identify Mr. Bradley in this situation, the officers made it clear that they believed they could always demand identification from passengers, with one even arguing that the Supreme Court had concluded that they were allowed to do so. Well, not only has the Supreme Court never issued a decision authorizing officers to identify passengers as a matter of course during a traffic stop, but rather the court has repeatedly held that the Fourth Amendment requires officers to have reasonable suspicion of criminal activity in order to require a citizen to identify themselves. I would strongly encourage these officers to refine their understanding of when they have the authority to demand that individuals identify themselves in order to avoid making future mistakes like this one. Mr. Bradley and Ms. Workman get an F for refusing to step out of the vehicle when they were likely legally required to do so, fleeing the scene of a traffic stop, and leading officers on a dangerous high-speed chase, putting the lives of other citizens at risk. While Mr. Bradley was correct in his argument that he could not be required to identify himself simply because he was a passenger in a vehicle during a lawful traffic stop, he may have been required to do so in this instance based on suspicion of a seatbelt violation. Likewise, Mr. Bradley and Ms. Workman were likely obligated to exit the vehicle upon the officer's orders, and they certainly were not within their rights to flee the traffic stop. Mr. Bradley and Ms. Workman's conduct in this encounter was plainly illegal and downright dangerous, and they are very fortunate that no one was injured or killed as a result of their actions. Let's move on to the next interaction. On May 11th, 2022, Sergeant Cutright of the Bentleyville Police Department and Sergeant Thompson of the Chagrin Falls Police Department initiated a traffic stop on 23-year-old Addison Tisch, who was driving a vehicle with expired tags in Bentleyville, Ohio. The encounter that ensued was captured on Sergeant Cutright's body camera.
Hello, how you doing? I'm Sergeant Cutright, Bentleyville Police. The reason I'm stopping you is your tags are expired on this vehicle.
I'm working on it.
Okay, do you have a driver's license, proof of
No.
You don't have a driver's license or insurance on you?
No.
Okay. Are you the registered owner?
045 044.
You are.
Really doing this
You
again?
do own it too?
Are we really doing this again?
Why
do this again? I
What
just
you-
got a job, dude. I'm just beginning to make money.
What's your social?
Can I leave?
No, what's your social?
I guess I won't go to work tomorrow.
What's your social?
Is that the case?
Are you gonna give me your social or not?
Can you answer the question?
What's that? What's your
Am I
question?
going to work tomorrow?
That's up to you. I don't know.
You're harassing me.
What's your social?
You chose to harass me.
What's your
chose
social?
to. You chose
What's your
to.
name?
Nice
What's your first
day. I'm
name?
having a nice day. Just leave.
Okay. What's your name?
I'm nameless. I'm an
Okay.
illegal immigrant in this country.
Okay. Last name is Tisch, right?
No. You don't know me, remember?
Oh, I don't remember. I just can't remember your name exactly. All right, hold still. This is where he's going to go nuts when he finds out the car's getting towed. This guy just doesn't care. He drives around. He's licensed. His tags are expired. Expired in 21. What's that?
Alabama.
I think this is my first time. But he sits in the park, and he's not driving it. And he usually waits till we leave. So it'll be fun. Okay, Mr. Tisch, I'm going to have you step out of the vehicle for me, okay?
Why, dude?
Because the vehicle's got to get towed. You're suspended. You have a warrant out of the Metro Parks.
You're a monster.
No, call me what you will, all right? But still, you can't drive
can you
suspended.
Can you absorb that instead of being like all
No, it's absorbed. All right. So we're going to have you step out for me, all right? Is there anything you need in the vehicle?
I need the vehicle itself.
Well, you can get that out once it becomes valid. Why are you special and everybody else has to obey rules? Can you tell me that?
It's not about the rules.
What is it about then?
It's about the rules being wrong.
Okay, well, don't take that up with me. You take that up with your legislature. Call the governor for all I care. I don't make the rules,
You care.
okay?
Can I go? I
No.
want to be left alone.
You have to
I wanna
step
be
out of the
left alone.
vehicle.
Dude,
Listen, you got to step out of the vehicle, okay?
I'm not accepting
I have to explain
that
this.
as an offer.
Well, I don't know what else to tell you. That's the only offer you're getting today.
No, I'm a human and I can be left alone.
Listen, all right? We went through this before. You and Norm numerous times. You can't drive. You're suspended.
Your mom can't drive. She's suspended, bro.
So I need you to step out the vehicle for him. I'm going to explain this to you, okay? You're going to have a court date on May 25th. You can bring all your grievances with the court.
You have somebody else you can call to get a ride?
You can't legally drive away. Is that what you want to hear? That's exactly what I'm telling you. That's why the car's being towed. That's why you're getting a citation to appear in court. You have a warrant still out of the Metro Parks. You haven't cleared that up even. All right, so we'd like to be here all night, but we unfortunately can't do that, okay?
You're bored again and you saw me go by. Oh, glory, it's him. I found him again.
Still with your
you
expired
did.
tags,
Good cop, good
still
cop.
with your license being suspended. You just don't feel that the laws apply to you, but everybody else should have to do it. They'll also give you driving privileges if you have work, but that doesn't mean that you just pop up in the park and start playing guitar and running around in the woods. That's not how it works. But you just don't want to feel that you can have to listen to anybody. All right, so we have to step out of the car for me, all right?
Bro, I want you to drag me out of the car.
We're not going to drag you out of the car, because then you're going to have to go to
I'm
jail.
going to sit here.
You're going to go to jail, all right? Don't do that. Don't do that. You're just compounding your issues.
Sergeant Cutright tells Mr. Tisch that if he continues to refuse to step out of the vehicle and the officers are forced to physically remove him from the vehicle, he's going to go to jail. As we explored earlier in this episode, courts have found that an individual's refusal to comply with an officer's order to step out of a vehicle during a traffic stop may constitute a violation of Section 2921.31 of the Ohio Revised Code, which is the state obstruction statute. In this situation, it is likely that a court would conclude that Mr. Tisch's actions constituted obstruction, as his repeated refusal to step out of the vehicle, quote-unquote, impeded the officers in their attempts to tow the car, and he seemed to have intended to, quote-unquote, obstruct or delay the towing of the vehicle. Likewise, as we have discussed before here on ATA, courts have generally found that officers may use reasonable force to physically remove drivers from their vehicles when they refuse to comply with lawful orders to exit, although such uses of force may be considered, quote-unquote, excessive if the amount or type of force employed is out of proportion to the resistance exhibited by the driver. As such, it is probable that a court would conclude that the officers would be within their lawful authority to physically remove Mr. Tisch from the vehicle if he continued to refuse to step out.
Do you have a light?
Okay? No, I don't. Apparently I don't, okay?
Why don't you call a friend or a family member right now to come pick you up, and then it can all
I can even give you a courtesy ride back up to your mom's.
Yeah, that'd be lovely.
Well, we're doing the best we can here, okay?
The best you can do is not enough.
Well, and what your best you could do is just let you drive away and just never to bother you.
Yes.
Just free to go, do whatever you want, right?
That would be nice.
It doesn't work that way, Addison, all right? So,
Don't
let go of my...
These are my possessions.
You're about to go to
dude.
jail.
These are my
You want to go to jail? Either step out the car now.
What's the option, bro? What's the other option?
The option is getting out of the car and you go home. Or
I don't live in Solon.
you can. I don't care where you live.
Drop me
Call a
off at my
friend.
mom's
Call a
house
friend.
at 2 a.m., dude.
Okay, well, get your mom here. I'll even drive you to your mom's. You can arrange a run.
You're in the wrong
All right,
here.
step out the car. Are you going to get out the car?
Pull me out of the car.
Are you going to get out of the
Pull
car?
me out of the car,
All right,
dude.
come on.
Pull me out. Pull me
You're
out.
going to get tased.
Ooh.
You're going to go to jail. Stop it.
And we do not want to arrest you right now.
Don't want to arrest you,
So
Addison.
what's the alternative?
Well, come on out the car so we can talk
That
about
is
the
the
alternatives.
That's not the alternative. So
All
you're
right.
towing my car.
Your car's going to be towed, yeah.
Wrong.
Right, it's
You're
going to be
arrested
towed.
or not, your car's getting towed.
All right,
What is that?
had enough. You're going to go to jail.
Hello.
Radio 3521, check up.
Step out of the
Come
car.
on tight, bro. Yeah.
Step
Pull
out
me
of
by
the car.
cup, bro. Yeah.
Step out of the car. Stop being like
Grab
this.
my other arm, bro.
It's really unfortunate, Addison. You
You're
really need to
fortunate.
grow
You're
up.
fortunate I haven't
You
assaulted
really-
you, bro.
You really
Can I
need
tell
to
you
grow
that?
up.
Can I tell you
You
that?
really need to grow up. Knock it.
Yeah. Eye for an eye, brother?
Oh. Oh, that's nice.
I'm glad. You're fortunate.
Knock it off. Holy cow. This guy.
Mr. Tisch appears to intentionally scrape his handcuffs against the police vehicle, leaving visible scratches on the door. Under Section 2909.05 of the Ohio Revised Code, an individual commits the crime of vandalism when they, quote, knowingly cause serious physical harm to property that is owned, leased, or controlled by a governmental entity. The statute defines, quote unquote, serious physical harm as, quote, physical harm to property that results in loss to the value of the property of $1,000 or more. Additionally, a separate section of the statute states that, quote, no person shall knowingly cause physical harm to property that is owned or possessed by another when the property is used by its owner or possessor in the owner's or possessor's profession, business, trade, or occupation, and the value of the property or the amount of physical harm involved is $1,000 or more. In the 2008 case of State v. Dunphy, the Ohio 2nd District Court of Appeals upheld a vandalism conviction under this section of the statute against an individual who broke the window of a police cruiser, reasoning that the defendant caused physical harm to property possessed by the sheriff's department, which is in the business of law enforcement, and that the department used the cruiser in its profession, business, trade, or occupation. Accordingly, Mr. Tisch could potentially be convicted of vandalism of business property or vandalism of government property if the scratches were deep enough to cause at least $1,000 worth of damage for purposely scratching the police cruiser.
Unbelievable. Okay, this male's in custody. He also did damage to the cruiser.
I'll open the door on this side.
I copy.
I don't need to say a word. You're a real child, Addison. You know that? Real child. You're real proud of yourself, huh? Yeah. All right.
Life's a party.
Really is for you, huh?
We could have given you a ride to your mom's house. He was willing to give you a courtesy ride.
I'm trying to give you a courtesy ride, but you have to act like this.
You're no courtesy to me.
Well,
You're nothing I want in my
apparently
life.
anybody's not a courtesy to you.
We got another one, guys. Hell yeah. I'm glad you pulled up.
Copy on scene 2004.
What do you need this for?
Someone's gonna pay for it.
2912.
Cool.
Yep. And he's yelling now. So we'll charge him with vandalism and
Copy.
He made a comment about his handcuffs being too tight.
all right, well. How come you did this to the side of the door, Addison?
I was being apprehended in a manner that
That you didn't like, so you decided to scratch
correct,
this door up, huh?
correct. Because immediate punishment does more than a ticket.
So you're immediately punishing us by scratching our door.
I did, didn't I?
You did this in such a purposeful manner.
Yeah.
Wow. All right,
Eye
sir.
eye for an eye. Somebody said that.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Tisch was charged with vandalism to government property, obstruction, and driving with a suspended license and no license plates. Mr. Tisch was also charged with criminal damaging for conduct occurring on the same day, but court records indicate that the offense occurred in the municipality of Solon rather than Bentleyville, so it may have stemmed from some damage Mr. Tisch did to property at the police station after his arrest. On July 25, 2022, the charges for vandalism to government property and the traffic violations were dismissed, and Mr. Tisch pleaded no contest and was found guilty of obstruction and criminal damaging. He received a 30-day suspended sentence and multiple fines. On February 17, 2023, Mr. Tisch was pulled over for a traffic violation in Aurora, Ohio, and failed to comply with orders to leave the vehicle, allegedly hitting an officer in the head during the struggle to remove him. This encounter was also featured on the Cleveland Area Body Cameras channel, and I have included a link to that body camera footage in the description of this episode. Mr. Tisch was charged with felony assault of a peace officer, possession of LSD, resisting arrest, arrest and driving under suspension. On July 17, 2023, Mr. Tisch pleaded guilty to a reduced charge of attempted assault on a police officer and possession of LSD, and was ordered to complete substance abuse and mental health treatment as part of a so-called intervention in lieu of conviction program. On June 28, 2024, the court found that Mr. Tisch had violated the terms of his intervention program, and on July 30th, he was ordered to restart the intervention program. As of the date of writing this episode, his case remains open pending successful completion of the requirements. Overall, Sergeant Cutright and Sergeant Thompson get an A for maintaining a professional and respectful demeanor throughout the encounter, providing Mr. Tisch with multiple opportunities to step out of the vehicle to allow it to be towed, and only resorting to using minimal force when Mr. Tisch had stayed in the vehicle for several minutes and refused numerous orders to exit. When the officers did employ force, it was targeted and limited to the amount of force actually necessary to remove Mr. Tisch from the vehicle. I commend the sergeants for the patience they demonstrated in dealing with Mr. Tisch's antics. And while Sergeant Cutright did express some frustration with Mr. Tisch's behavior, I do not believe he crossed the line into unprofessional or unbecoming officer conduct. Mr. Tisch gets an F for repeatedly driving with a suspended license and unregistered vehicle, refusing to comply with lawful orders to exit his vehicle, leading to multiple arrests, and maintaining a belligerent and combative demeanor throughout his police encounters. While Mr. Tisch is certainly entitled to his beliefs about law enforcement officers and the illegitimacy of vehicle registration and licensing requirements, as Sergeant Cutright pointed out, the correct way to voice these grievances is through political action, not a refusal to comply with existing laws or police commands. Mr. Tisch's conduct was obnoxious, immature, and illegal, and while it does seem that he may have some substance abuse issues, that does not excuse his actions. That being said, I truly hope that Mr. Tisch is able to successfully complete the intervention in lieu of conviction program that has been offered to him, and received whatever help it is that he needs. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic that you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out my second channel for even more police interaction content.